Mariola hino bali anala bambang ka wirikiti ka bambang ka trama mbadingulu alnal badim malum Mr. Tenkabo aka I'm the only romantic man in my village, the biggest village in the Gambia. Please search Google. Ladies and gentlemen, kumaranta benda kon la xamne te lamira ki mala li jang lafsa len jam men jang ya jamme anin Gambia bu ñor bam fu ya jamme ni Adam Barrow ñora nata ñi ensemble yesleti ala fu ñi say Adam Barrow ñora wala la ni Gambia ñora al ya fu ya jamme anin Gambia ñora minaduna le kibaro kon ñato. If you are new member in this platform, do all your effort and subscribe in this channel. But please don't forget, it's your boy Tenkabo, aka I'm the only romantic man in my village, the biggest village in the Gambia. Please search or Google. Yaya Jammeh, anin Gambia be nyola bang for Yaya Jammeh fani Adam Barrow nyola.
Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. You have just released the white paper. So, does the Gambian judiciary have the capacity to prosecute all those who have been indicted?
Yes, for some of the offenses, yes, because we already have some of them in our penal code. Things like straight-out murder, they can be prosecuted. But we don't want the piecemeal approach to this. So that is why I talked about setting up a special chamber that will take a holistic approach of all the offenses so that they deal with them in wholesome.
Jammeh currently lives in exile in Equatorial Guinea. How do you intend to bring him to justice?
There are many ways of trying to get Jammeh. You know, some of the offenses Jammeh is accused of, some of them enjoy universal jurisdiction. So he could be prosecuted for them anywhere in the world. That's one way. So, but then the kind of tribunal we intend to set up also will have an international jurisdiction. We will create a statute for that. So there will be an enabling statute that will vest that court with a universal jurisdiction as well. So he could be either tried in the Gambia or outside of the Gambia. But this is something that is to be determined as a result of further consultations.
Most of the people who committed these crimes, the junglers, they live outside of the jurisdiction. Are there any plans to also bring those people to justice?
You know, nowadays, nobody can hide from justice. Wherever they are, once the preparations are ready, once we are ready to go after them, wherever they are in the world, they will be got. You heard us mention about the prosecution of Michael Correa in the US. Usman Sonko is being prosecuted in Switzerland. Whoever taught Germany will be prosecuting by law. So wherever they are in the world, the long arm of justice will reach them.
Out of the 265 recommendations, they were all accepted except two. What are those two that were rejected by the government?
One of the two is the recommendation made against a group of judges that the TRRC considered to be mercenary judges. We rejected that from a public policy point of view because we have a bilateral relationship with our sister countries where these judges came from. And also because Jammeh used the judiciary, there is no doubt about that. But then it was not only foreign judges that were culprits of these activities. There were some local judges and magistrates maybe that were part of it. So to identify only non-Gambians and call them mercenary judges risk, compromising our bilateral relationship with some of the countries where these nationals came from. So from the public policy point of view, we do not accept banning them. More so, none of them are in the Gambia at the moment. So what does banning them from public service serve? What purpose does it serve? So we said for expediency, in the interest of our bilateral relationship with our sister countries, who have always stood by us in giving us technical assistance in areas that we have needed the most, whether it is health, education, judiciary, legal sector, they have always provided us with technical assistance. So we don't want to risk jeopardizing those bilateral relationships. So as a result, we do not accept that one.
In total, how many people are going to face prosecution here?
We're still counting, to be honest. On the face of it, it appears to us TRRC recommended prosecution of about 69, but later we found out that it could be more than that. But mark you, we may not probably have to prosecute everybody. You know, there is a prosecution strategy that we are working on, and that strategy will inform who will be prosecuted and who else we may probably enter a plea bargain with and negotiate with them. Of course, some of them, in fact, have been recommended for amnesty. So not all of them will be prosecuted. I do not know the exact number at this stage because, like I said, the prosecution strategy is evolving.
Why did you deny some of these people who committed the crimes amnesty? But you don't want to give them blank amnesty, but you want to get into a plea deals?
Yes, this is normal because some of them know a lot. So they could be useful to the prosecution of others. So the only bargaining tool that we have is to give them those amnesties or immunities that have been recommended for them. But we would want to get something in exchange for them. Of course, you see, we're representing the public interest here. So instead of just telling you go home and sleep, we can say, okay, you can go home on condition that you can tell a court, when the court is set up, what you know about a particular transaction. I think that is the least they could do for us.
Why did the cabinet decide to exonerate the director of the SIS?
The exoneration of the SIS director is premised on the fact that he is alleged to have destroyed evidence. The destruction of evidence happened outside of the mandate of the TRRC. So we think that recommendation was out of place. That was all.
Can forgiveness substitute justice?
Not necessarily, because you can forgive me for what I did wrong to you. But the state still have a responsibility to prosecute and punish crime. But the two can go side by side.
So if I understand you well, the mercenary judges and the recommendation for the prosecution of the SIS director, those were the two who were rejected.
The SIS director was not recommended to be prosecuted. It was recommended to be banned from holding public office in relation to destruction of evidence. That destruction of evidence happened, I think, around May of 2017. The mandate of the TRRC is from July 1994 to January 2017. So that means that activity for which they want him punished is outside of their mandate. So based on that, if government want to look at that issue, we will look at it separately. But it cannot form part of the mandate of the TRRC. That was it.
Finally, is there a political will to make sure that what happened with the Jammeh Commission doesn't happen with this one?
Mr. Wali, you heard my statement, so I will refer you to my statement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nga video nyokode ansha kana baran sande ngata second video again ngo fana njibe kana nyina ansa Yaya Jammeh ngo fa anin Gambia bu nyola ba fa anin Adam Barrow la government bu nyola ba wala fa anin Adam Barrow bu nyola anga ni video hanjibe again.
If the EU can come out to frustrate or pressurize government not to give us permit, they are trying to put the Gambia into chaos.
Do you feel they are the ones that are pressuring?
When we had the Abuko rally, we made our motto then was, the theme was the homecoming of Babini Mansa. We had their comments, the EU, his comments. Is he a Gambian? What right does he have to interfere in the political issues of the Gambia? Let him mind his business. What he will not do in Europe, he cannot do it here. So we challenge him. In fact, if they think they are giving us funds, that's why they can do it, they are making a big mistake. We will not tolerate it. And we are asking government to ensure and inform the European Union, especially their resident representative here, to hands off Gambia's politics. That's the message we are sending. We are aware. And of course, some other internal pressure groups, like the Victim Center, that's Kijera, you threatening and insulting APRC supporters for supporting APRC. And that if we come out, we should not be given permit. Madi Jobate of all people, you using your office for your political, to make politics out of it. You think we Gambians are sleeping. We heard his remarks. Let him stop us from coming out.
Okay. So, what will happen if they do not grant Jammeh his request to come back to the Gambia?
Yeah, you know, as I told you, we are not a forceful thing. We hope and believe that representative of the people, somebody.
Do Jammeh know that there are charges waiting for him based on the allegations made at the TRRC?
What charges? Can you tell me what charges there is leveled against him? Tell me.
Well, at the TRRC, a lot of people.
No, there are no charges. We are only. You just say that people are making allegations. I mean, people are making allegations against the current government. Aruna Jata was shot dead. Is he not a Gambian? Ismail Atamba was shot. Our people were arrested. People were killed. We were denied all these things. Why are you not talking about that? Big government is perfect. But now, if you talk about the imperfections, let's go to the achievements also. What we have done in this country, no other government ever did it, nor will any government do it. This we have to make. Why are you not talking about the positive aspects? Always TRRC. TRRC is a cooked up thing. We've made it clear. We are in for an independent body that will look into our operations and then come out for a possible reconciliation and putting out a regulatory framework to prevent a recurrence if there are any. But not a cooked up one where you have an attempted coupist of December 30th serving on the TRRC. You think we will listen to those people? Members of the TRRC who contested on political platforms against the law, members of the TRRC who were alleging against an ethnic group in the Gambia, saying that those are the problems of the Gambia. Can we believe that? The TRRC chief prosecutor is telling people, he's saying that President Jammeh committed crimes against humanity. When the ICC, and he should have been taken to the ICC, when the ICC has declared nothing happened during his time that could be called that way, who is he? They are expressing their own imaginations. Like it or not, APRC would be here and will remain here, and inshallah, Babili Mansa will come to this country.
Okay, what's forward if Babili Mansa comes to the Gambia? What's next?
No, you see, the next thing is the Gambians decide. What we are saying, Babili Mansa comes as any other citizen into the country. Who is to be leader? It's not to be determined by Babili Mansa or me or anybody. Gambians decide that.
Allah, kono hana madum katawle. Allah akbar. Kono hana madum katawle. Bar kudo bu yeti karamere kum ko. Ite be nyingi kanyi na makoro kam pour mo safa kum ko ha kar loyalty tam moy. Atel min be haw kam moti jente kan cek min je no tafu mbi ajam mako kan. Kana so yaaja me filal fane filano ma. Ali bawula. Hey, mko ni ko ya man do ko ken de sonna jera ni tew fo mi tala mirod. You have all the right ye miro nyama. Ya man fek Gambia. Ndi ten ko bo tafula ya man fek Gambia. Ya do ko kede. Ay banko do kule kendeke ya fam do kulalti. Bari ya jamina lo do kubi afan nara penota wala pensulota ay robata aya sangara tutu. Bari han kabi dol be lorne. Ah. Mena ngofo ngal ngata bunjang la ye bunjang lo me annako ya lo billions, trillions, fororions, trillions, trillions, semirons, eightrons, ninerions, terrarions. 10 hanata ya lo wala molbe je nim bunjang ko rew ikara muna fulo ibuka jebe nyen lo terrarions le ikafulo mo jolli be kono yara harba dum ko marba kel ya jamela man sakunda. Do you think ani Adam Barrow be nyola hanata Adam Barrow mun kuma di mala fali aya dugulu aya melundi ni Adam Barrow alon kaf momoni ni sita bi ta kanne molebe Adam Barrow replace la ni Adam Barrow ma yala ko nobo do memina sila ba nobo lale no fana ma nobo do xana sila ba nobo lale won han kabi ali nga no ma anin silo la ngal ko mat jannim bina ñoo kis pom mam fina dama no wato man so ma xarna aya prepara man so na prepara woto anta diam la ma ani hakil ba hakil ma kam bar falka no platform ga alka audio kibula ya man fenke ye kangal la ya jemel al yen tiara simenta al ya fanyandi ko fefeni nga tiara si atel modul kalo ka fu bi mu fanyati ye kangal la ya jemelo fanda do harma dum ka hani ni me ya jamelo ka hani ka fate kalo media ka audio mu tela bun ko no ka fay mo tulo ko moy ite amerika ya ale help ya be sirin gine oktoral gine every month ka jole kum ko azalmo fal molo each and every one ibe asala mo kono kal jo nyamen ikayaje mo fana jo nyale yabe asala mo kono yabe kula ya kono aba banta manna baba de no muna kinda amon ki gambe fa damba me kam far yaje me kam dunya be kam far yaje me kam bar gambe no ci hina no ba anon wurusale bari be hina dayile kan al son kom ka ay menka ale son atel men bay bankum kam al kana victimol niu kwendi watu wadi fatali amana ko ki baba mending anala dimbal be ay tasi TRRC kafuko ndela nga nyimfa ndela nga sepun ndela nga nyimketeng nga fa nya kurula mu imuna dio mari le même si lo kumana dia yo duo fola mu muna dilay na yaja momen dinilla ni ku yaja mele mul fa imafu yaja me jato ayamuta candidate ayabun kilo ay fangata afadi no bari mbengal nako military katama odalla sojorol bela nyaton ko ya jamelti ni ya jambe ka finta mobe ka fala finta fete nyala mara ya fa koita ya ka finta ta fa finta ni bankun ka fonde be mo ja wodi ay tajiren tu ya min be kany banku kan nyidi kana lo ka fo be mo zero ti man so ta wi ka ya jam ma koy ite be siri ngambe ba enjoy kan ye audio bula ye bol kam fandi kan ya kama still ya men kay kam famem dum molla ala kanyanta al kando dunya be te mal kanyim foje al kata shalla bu ngala Allah musul be nyokis la ye al bi ya fala asala mol ñin tam ya no waran ko to binu nin kasaro ya jame ma ni me diamu na moli mek mo na diamu na moy bande hotla ibaga ni ko shila kendo ki victime lu fanan ibaga kam ko ha to nyani me ya ba ba nyimba ka ya fasa ha forgive and forget. Although it will be hard for forget, but find in your heart and forgive him. Iba any victim will be got for kilenti. Tumado ya jemishina bankunkan. Hanata ya kizi ni fanang. Hanamadum le luara da. Tumada si yom fanu akan ne fanang. Ay na la bankunkan. Hanaman palas marano. Astara senola. Yes. Barkana lo jang billah wala tallay. Ale kan la jamela. Ya jame manyim fa alla fania fo sem wartale akata si terasi abemo faniati munala man jawara kiskis jawara min ngamana mo kiskis jawara tiara min ngamana mo kiskis ya jame sen ting it you think you are helping ya jame no ndeka fatal ma ya jame kado nal ya kanu fana alla kanu di bolo kono your love is blind not real blind is there love is blind automatically. I'm not talking about that blind wo this is malam mendo hanya ngali mako yana. This one is dangerous blind. Yes. Al sonko ya tinyaro kile. Al sonwola. Kunu men belo jam kunu. Ya jamme. Kuma jamalu al yefo. Alu tele ntiara si fanade. Bari bi felente white people bonde muna nal manta lo le comment say. Fabaka tombonjat. Rambo. Bakso. Muna nal ma white people condemn. Adam Barrow ala kamenke. Moliamana Adam Barrow is a mugu. Adama is not a mugu. Billahi wallah. Adam Barrow ala kamenke. Adama is not a mugu. Let me tell you. Don't judge book by cover. Sometimes the cover can disappoint you. If people think that our president is a mugu. But it's a good amount of wagwan. A question male. Wagwan watagwan. Because Adam Barrow hana melekule yin nat na jam impossible. Impossible. Uta aliada na peace and strangulento or peace and stability. I think this is very important. But ya manjike ya binale ya must come back here then the to mo clean it. Ya du nyin Gambia be nyola. Gambia banko no be nyola. Amal Gambia da mer ya ngi dunya la be nyola. Ay mol faal mi manke bambe diwulti. Ay Gambian American citizenol die jenne. Ghanaianol die jenne. Forme Gambian citizenol. Etc. Ya jame man sa kono mo keme fulani feng. Iko men nie wotaji. Alkalu alko sa ko ka fulo ka hawru moslet. Alta white people stop. Sa fendi those who hands are not clean. Do you think that they are even free still now? They are counting. All better do officially. So what about the chief? Don't be do a chef, the chief. Alta ku boji oto diamu na fatala ala diam nya fali sali fondin ke mabunti to be frank ya jamia amantala mo fana baray wutel nak ay tala mo lol wutel nak ay soron ay kujala kela hanga ala mi yeman na bari ngaji ko mba fitala position do to nya defa nga fila fel sometimes bo na la bi diam nga kunke defa na ci kafna sometimes nga diam kendo dol fo nga kafal ma baraka ko kan dol fo ndata kafna ma kum ko nga kafal ma nya call defense because ay mo le fa fanya ko jam. But naka diam kinoke, mol be kafra mal kal support ka mol gisol nyabi. I think ko kumala alka how alka tala na lam jokra nyo kis bu kono. Pour mu saf he ba han say kar be yañu ko ngan say de. Han say kar ni yañu man say de. Ba han say kar ni man jam fala de. Al man tar tous ke kan al batora kanne. Ala dada fo ninge tinyaro kala kana bulanu maslang. Atel samro ko how all these 22 years ya jami abi correct. I doko kela tonyati. But I doko freke. Positive and negative. Bakso, altani white babondi. I bina kuma do fanam fula kotake. Ya jemme fangale ya fanketeng, a fan sayteng, bawo say mbiri balam da ko mo boy. Na tele man be keri adam bara be keri. Adam Barrow alan mekero al kuma ken dolfo kuma ken do mamem banno kuma ko ruto banno la ndesini so men faleno fo ninke fel di biala Guinea Equatoria kuman dias ko konoti all around the world there is no place like home. Big billing is a sign of seriousness and the life of nobility. See, cut your clothes according to your size. No stone cannot live unturned. Too much of everything is good for nothing. Mariola hino bali anala bambang ka wirkiti ka bambang ka trauma. Mbadimulu anal badi malum Mr. Tenkobo, aka I'm the only romantic man in my village. The biggest village in the Gambia. Please search or Google.
You come cry.
Whatever.
I don't say subscribe.
Okay, thank you.
Kula yere jismami follow.